Yo, what's happening everybody? King GBL here and welcome back to a brand new Go Battle video. Today we're going to be showcasing some fun battles here submitted to the channel by KITKAT. First of all, thank you very much KITKAT for submitting these battles. If you do want to submit some battles of your own, link in the description down below. Join the Discord or use the link in the description. Today we're featuring KANTO Ninetales. KANTO Ninetales is one of those Pokemon that has kind of suffered from the new meta of the Great League. It was pretty popular a couple of seasons back, but of course with the introduction of Surf on Lantern, all of the Ninetales floating around, and generally the fact that grass types have just dried up quite a lot, it doesn't really have as much play as it used to, but I think it still is quite a strong pick here and can be a little bit of a surprise for some teams, and there may not be a lot of teams that are sort of built to handle it. I think one of the main issues this Pokemon has is the fact that matches like this here, with Galarian Stunfisk, you would think, okay, against a Steel type this is great, but it can hit you with super effective rock slides, and there are just so many weaknesses in the meta currently for Ninetales, where even against Trevenant, like if they land a Shadow Ball, it's going to do a lot of damage, and it's just a little bit of a risky pick. I personally would like to see a lot more fire types in the meta, so hopefully they get their finger out in the next update, maybe nerf Surf Lantern and Noctowl or a few different things, or buff a couple of things, and that will give fire types a little bit more play in the meta. We're going to hop into the commentary. The first couple of battles here are with Noctowl, and the second set of battles are with Swampert. This team originally was very weak to Bastiodon, and that's basically the reason KITKAT swapped it out. I just really want to quickly say thank you very much for all the support in these videos. That's right, I'm talking to you Gerald, I'm talking to you Matthew, thank you for subscribing, hitting that like button is very much appreciated. I set a like goal on the last video of 100 likes. We almost smashed it in less than a day, so thank you very much. And let's do it again here folks, hit that like button, it's absolutely free. And if you have not yet subscribed and you have been watching the videos for a little while, maybe you just kind of tune in but don't subscribe to channels, quickly check to make sure you're subscribed, do that now, and thank you very much, it's very much appreciated. With all that being said, let's hop into it, and I hope everybody's having a fantastic day here. I think fire-type Pokemon are probably my favourite, let me know in the comments. We'll do like a question of the day here. What is your favourite Pokemon typing to use? Or what is just in general your favourite Pokemon Go typing? Personally, I've always been a big fan of fire types like Charizard, Typhlosion, even like some of the Gen 1, like less popular ones like Magmar. Always been a big fan of fire Pokemon. Let me know yours in the comments down below. So we've got Noctowl and Skarmory here. Generally it is a negative match. You would sort of want that on your Ninetales, but in comes, they've got two Steel types here, interesting. So yeah, I think you would have wanted your Ninetales just to melt away that little Skarmory. That's another Pokemon actually that was very popular. This is rough right now. You could shield it. I guess you just want to get off some damage on this thing. Try and get a little bit lower, but unfortunately with K9 versus Swampert, it's never going to be a good match. They go straight for the Psyshock. We're running Psyshock and Weather Ball here. Which I'm pretty happy with that moveset personally. Yeah, at this point we come into Swellows. You can eat a Hydro in this thing, but this thing is a little bit glassy, so you're not going to eat too many of them. The opponent will here just outpace to the move. And are they just freeing off Hydros? I mean, I feel like they should at least build up to the Earthquake, to at least threaten it. That's one thing I always do see players do, like, whenever I'm sort of playing, maybe players in around the 2000s or whatever sometimes, they just don't build up to the move, and you just have no reason to shield at that point. I guess they just want to get off the damage, but I think you just threaten the Earthquake at least once and get the shield. And at that point, you have an opportunity to beat it. You may get two shields. If you threaten once, you can threaten twice. We're going to go for the Dark Pulse. Will this take out? It just about doesn't. And can we take out the Swampert in time? Yes, we can. Dragon Breaths are so oppressive, and the damage gets applied instantly. A super oppressive move. And in comes Walrein. So the opponent can threaten with an Earthquake here, but generally this is a pretty positive match, I would say. The opponent looks like they are building up to the Earthquake this time, and you're going to fire off the Weather Ball. Just whenever you're firing off Weather Balls or free turn moves. Okay, they actually call the Earthquake, okay. That's a savage call, you love to see it. The opponent kind of needs to be it there, so it does make sense to call it. We're going to go for another stab Weather Ball. About one more of these will take this out, and the opponent would have enough for an Earthquake here, I believe again. They're calling it again. They're calling it, okay, so they actually do get taken out by that, unfortunately. But you're up a shield here, and they come in with, that is a crazy swap out right there, honestly. With the amount of Noctowls and flying types and just things that completely wreck Trevenant, I'm guessing their thinking was, okay, K9's gone, so Trevenant's free. I guess you could look at it that way, but I don't know, just Noctowl and stuff are just way too common to like make that switch in, especially when the opponent has an unknown third Pokemon. So I would not do that personally. They come in with Swampert here. You're going to get off a Body Slam at least and get off some Dragon Breath damage. So you're already getting this into the deep yellow here, even into the red, and the opponent is forced to throw here. And like, yeah, you could let it go or you could shield it, it doesn't really matter at this point. You could try to fight for switch, but you're going to elect to go for the Overfarm and Swampert here. Yep, they go for the Hydro Cannon, which would put a decent little chip in here. So yeah, this is absolutely fine. This will just be another Hydro, and you're going to farm all the way down. In comes Walrein, you just go for the back-to-back, and that's going to be a GG. Yeah, so the opponent made a really sort of over-aggressive play there, in my opinion. You're throwing off the move here. Does the opponent have a shield left? They do, but they just let it go. Yeah, fair enough. To be fair, you could just farm down or go for back-to-back. I think you wouldn't have got to back-to-back with the farm, but pretty negative lead here. Let's see what we're gonna do. We're gonna come into the safe swap. The opponent's staying in here for a minute. Again, that was not enough for Blizzard, so like, if you're going to stay in, you need to at least threaten the harder hitting move. Blizzard would one-shot this thing, and its entire family. So yeah, in comes another body slam. And you know, you would think if they're staying in here, they're maybe weak to Xylos in the back, which is a consideration here. In saying that, people play really weird sometimes. Yesterday I had a match in particular where I was running Swampert lead Umbreon safe swap with Noctowl in the back, and they had a Pelipper, which is really bad lead for Swampert. So we swap into Umbreon for the safe swap. The opponent, they stay in and they double shield versus the Umbreon. So I'm like, right, you have to be weak in the back, so I end up swapping back in my Swampert and sacking it, thinking that they have like Trevenant and something else that's weak to like Noctowl and Umbreon. Turns out they had double steal. So like, sometimes the opponents make weird plays, like they have a Farforn in the back. Like, why not swap that into Xylos? It resists all of the Dragon Breaths. Or you could swap into Muck even, like there's no reason to stay in there. Of course Muck would resist the Dark Pulses. Doesn't really make sense what opponents do here sometimes, but yeah, so they do take out your Ninetales and you're just going to go for an EQ on this thing. Let me know if you guys have used the Shadow Alone Muck, which came out recently. Unfortunately, I did not get a good IV one in time, and I haven't had the chance to use it here, but in comes Marowak. It's a pretty negative lead, they know Bone Club, so you come into your safe swap of Xylos, and eventually they come into Azumarill. Pretty bad matches for your Ninetales, and again, you just have so many Pokemon in the meta right now, which are just too strong against Ninetales. The opponent will probably fire off an Ice Beam or a Play Rough here. They go for the Ice Beam, and you're going to fight for a switch here. You could spam off a few more Body Slams, and maybe get this thing lower. This thing in general is a bit of a core breaker for your team. Yep, in comes another Body Slam, and we're going to start chipping away at this thing. We'll see if the opponent wants to shield. They do not. At this point, you could just probably let it go, and maybe like farm down with Swampert or something. I'm surprised that didn't one-shot, and you actually get the farm down. Is that a Body Slam loaded too? You get the Body Slam off too? This will be resisted, of course, but will the opponent shield it? They shield it, that's amazing. In comes Swampert, and this is going to be beautiful. Is the opponent lagging or top lefting here? What's going on? Okay. Alright, GG's. Go battle lag. They eat the Shadow Bone here, and you're just going for a nice little overfarm. Firing off a Hydro Cannon, this will one-shot it, and the opponent does not let that happen. In comes Jumpluff, and in comes Ninetales, and Ninetales is about to feast up here. Ninetales is about to feast up. This would be... Is this going to be an Acrobatics? Yeah. Does a lot of damage though. Yeah, nice, we're going to fire this off. This should almost one-shot it. Oh, actually it doesn't. Wow, it's Jumpluff's a thick boy. Doesn't look very thick, but it actually is. We're going to get off another one, knowing that another Acrobatics would take out. And you could maybe commit to a Psychic here. Okay, so the opponent's going to fire off Energy, so this is perfect. The opponent's in a rock and a hard place here. We've got a Hydro loaded, and we're just going to take this thing out. So GG's there. You had a lot of Pokemon that were kind of rough for your Ninetales. And again, that's kind of what we're seeing, like, it's only in very specific scenarios that Ninetales is actually any good. This might be a good match for Ninetales, of course, with the super effective. And yeah, nice, we're going for an overfarm here. Of course, 3 turn into 4 turn. You want to throw after 1 here. Yep, nice throwing. Firing off the Weather Ball. Was that a lunge the opponent threw? So we're going to fire off another one here. You maybe could have just went straight for the move there, but this is absolutely fine. Yep, gonna take it out. The opponent's down a shield and down a Pokemon, and you do come into your safe swap here. I do quite like this because you have 2 answers for Lantern. So this is good. You want to see if you can find something that's good for Swampert in the back, try to draw it out. Okay, the opponent's staying in here, and we're going to go for Body Slams. These add up very quickly, and it is Medicham. Again, I'm confused why they didn't come straight into that. We're going to get off a Dark Pulse, which will put a huge chip into this thing. These Dark Pulses hit hard, and yeah, the Medi's getting very, very low. I think you basically just sack the Ninetales at this point. Maybe try to get off a move. The opponent does not commit to the counter down, but you're going to get a lot of energy on Swampert. Dynamic Punch. I would probably try to farm up to the back-to-back here, shield the first one maybe. And yeah, they're going for another Dynamic Punch, so you're basically free to go for an overfarm. You can even just farm it the whole way down here at this point. But I think the overfarm is just absolutely fine. That's enough energy. And you can probably just go straight Hydro on this thing. Hydro would do about 30% health on this. You let the first Surf go, and yeah, we're just going for the back-to-back Hydros. Back-to-back Hydros is just the safer play at this point, because the opponent is getting so low. You can shield up easily. It's going to take them another 5 to get to a Surf, and yeah, you do get to the Earthquake in time as well. So GG's. Very well played there. Again, you're seeing like Ninetales, you know, it does have certain plays, but, you know, it has plays where a lot of other Pokemon would do better, in my opinion. Here's a match where Ninetales just absolutely wrecks the other Ninetales. They're going to spam off a Weather Ball here. Interesting play by the opponent here. Okay, you're just feasting at this point. Like, if the opponent wants to stay in, you know, so be it. Could they be triple weak to fire? Again, like, nobody respects fire anymore because it's just so rare. So it is possible, but you can never really tell, like, if they're just super weak to it in the back or they just don't know what to swap into. Sometimes it is hard to tell. They do let it go, and then comes a Medicham. So I'll be interested to see what their last Pokemon is. You do come into Swampert here. And yeah, the opponent's going to fire off. Probably, is it an Ice Punch at this range? Yeah, fire off an Ice Punch. You can probably get off back-to-back moves here. You would probably want to shield this one. And 2 Hydros will get this thing low. We're going for Hydro number 1. The opponent might shield it depending on what's in the back. Okay, they'll let it go. So you can just go for Hydro number 2. This might sound like a funny one, but you could even consider just, okay, the opponent lets it go, and then comes Stun. That's so weird. Like, you've got a Stunfisk in the back, you sort of have to take out the Swampert with your Medi. They go for a Rock Slide here, and you're going to get to the EQ. We're going straight for the EQ, I love this play. The opponent's win condition is calling a bait. Unfortunately, they do call the bait. A nice little catch here on the Zweilous too. If you can get this into Hydro range, you'll be laughing here, basically. You're pretty close to the Hydro. The opponent will get off another Rock Slide. Are they committing to the Earthquake here? This Dark Pulse will put a decent little chip into it. What the opponent kind of needs to do here is farm up to the back-to-back Rock Slides. Let's see if one Rock Slide. Okay, they go straight for the EQ. Maybe one Rock Slide would not have taken out these Zweilous. And at this point, the opponent's expended all of their energy, and that's going to be a good game. It's going to be a little bit tough for the opponent to take out both of them there. All you really needed to do was get it into Hydro range, and it was going to be very difficult for the opponent to get enough energy. Maybe they needed to farm up to like 100, you know, a Rock Slide on the other side for the Swampert. Or, you know, like maybe just a little bit under 100 just so you can outpace it. They go for Hydro Cannon here, again not threatening the Earthquake, this is perfect. And in comes Azu. Again, Azu, a little bit of a core breaker for this team, but we can definitely just spam off a few Body Slams and start to get this thing low. So we're seeing, is this some sort of ABA water team? Like, what is this? Ice Beam coming through, we're going to get off some more Body Slam damage, and we outpace these moves very, very quickly. And this is the beautiful thing about Zweilous, like it just really does outpace a lot. Yeah, at this point, if you get off this Body Slam, you can just let this go. Yeah, this is perfect. Yep, you're in farm down range here, and you can probably just come in and farm down with your own Swampert. Get a little bit ahead on energy, and we'll see what the opponent wants to come in with. What does the opponent come in with? They're coming in with their own Swampert, interestingly. So, double water. What would they have in the back to cover that? Since they didn't come into their third Pokemon straight away, you would think that they're weak to Swampert in the back, so it could be a Fire type. The opponent's going to fire off a Hydro Cannon, we're going to fire off another one in return, and see what the opponent wants to do here. This would put a lot of damage into this thing, and the opponent is shielded up. The opponent fires off another move, and you're of course going to shield this. I think you're reading that they are weak to something in the back here with Swampert. Just the fact that they come in with their own Swampert, and not like a Noctowl or something, is a pretty good sign. They fire off the Hydro, and in comes Talonflame. You fire off this move straight away, and this Incinerate will probably just about take you out, and in comes Ninetales. The opponent's not going to reach a Brave Bird in time. You're going to give the Fire Spin down, and that's a GG. Yeah, so very interesting team comp. It was like an ABA water team with a fire in the back. Again, we've got a Galvantula lead. Very good lead. The opponent comes into Empoleon. And in comes these Zweilous here. So yeah, I guess that would be sort of actually your best option against this thing. Yep, the opponent's going to fire off a Drill Peck. I would probably just go straight for the Dark Pulse here personally, but we'll see if the opponent shields it. Okay, they don't shield it, so... I mean, you can get maybe a nasty farm down here, but then you will be sort of forced to shield. You don't necessarily have to shield, but yeah, that's a little bit awkward there. So you do reveal your third Pokemon here, and in comes the Galvantula. Swampert is absolutely fine here, like this is no problem for Swampert. These are resisted. And again, it would just sort of make you think that they're really weak to Swampert in the back. It is a Noctowl, interestingly enough, and we're going to come in here with Ninetales, start spamming off Weather Balls. We should maybe get another one off here before they take us out. They just about reached the move before us here. 10 turns versus 9. Yep, that will almost take out, so we're going to get off another one. And at the very least, you're hoping just to kind of get this into Hydro Cannon range, which you basically have. The opponent, yep, you're going to go straight forward. I quite like this. You don't want the wing attack damages are the most threatening things here. The opponent might even double shield this. If I was the opponent, I would even consider double shielding this and just go for farm down with Noctowl. In comes, yeah, the opponent just shielded that, to be fair. This is still going to be very tough to win. We'll see what happens here. Of course, with these lunges, debuffing the attack and stuff like that, you're going to farm up to the back-to-back Hydros. Yeah, okay, we're going for the Earthquake off the rip here. The opponent shields it up. They're basically forced to shield everything at that point. Like, when it is the last Pokemon, they just have to shield everything. So you would just go for hydro cannons. You do reach another one here though. Of course these volt switches are resisted, and this is going to be a good game. Yeah, so those were some fun battles. I would say that Ninetales, unfortunately, I would not use it. It's a little bit too risky in my opinion. The risk does not outweigh the reward, and yeah, it's just a very kind of hard-walled Pokemon in this meta, with all of the ground types, water types, and just a lot of things that are not taking super effective against fire. I hope you enjoyed anyway, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to submit some battles of your own. Link in the description down below. Feel free to join the Discord community as well. Thank you very much for watching, and have a fantastic rest of your day.